Headline news most affecting Chilliwack this week. Oil prices plummet into negative territory, and gas prices, well, they are holding their own. The Progress and other black press newspapers in a funding drive, and a COVID scam slam. Be prepared to pay big bucks if you're price gouging. Thanks for watching. We are committed to providing local news and news that impacts our local audience from Harrison to Garrison, Greendale to Hope, and everywhere in between, including Agassiz, Cultus Lake, Little Mountain, Fairfield Island, Promontory, Chiacton First Nation, Yarrow, and Five Corners Chilliwack. Our very special guest this week, Kyle Williams, the Executive Director for the Chilliwack Downtown Business Association. All right, Chilliwack, let's get started. You'll have noticed that for some time now, gas prices have been creeping lower more rapidly since we entered this COVID-19 pandemic period. In fact, it's below 80 cents a liter in Chilliwack and parts of the valley, something we thought we'd probably never see again. This low price is a result of a combination of things. There's a glut on the market caused in part by overproduction, in part by a lack of demand from everyone being at home and not driving cars or flying in planes because of COVID, and because of the recent and ongoing price war between Saudi Arabia and Russia. This week, the price of a barrel of oil, which has been as high as $148 a barrel back in 2008, sank like a stone to $20 a barrel last week. And this week dropped to negative $36 a barrel. That's right, negative. So that means producers are actually paying buyers to take the oil. That's unprecedented. So does that mean Chevron will be paying you to fill your tank? We're not sure, but we promise to get you back on that if they do that. And another sign of the times, black press newspapers all over BC, including Abbotsford and Chilliwack, have made public appeals for donations to keep the free press alive and well over the past week. You may have noticed that the Progress and the Abbotsford News have ceased twice weekly delivery and is now being delivered only on Thursdays. Because so many businesses have at least temporarily closed because of the pandemic, and businesses that regularly advertise in newspaper have either scaled back or stopped advertising altogether. And this has led to a dire situation for the advertiser market and the newspaper industry. Only time will tell how businesses that rely on advertising revenue in general will fare, and that will likely be directly related to how long business in general stays shuttered. The COVID crisis has forced the hand of the Minister of Public Safety and Solicitor General Mike Farnworth to come down hard on those who try to scam the system while this pandemic is on. He has given police and other enforcement officers the ability to issue $2,000 violation tickets for price gouging and the reselling of medical supplies and other essential goods during the COVID-19 pandemic. Provincial emergency COVID-19 funding will be distributed through Community Living BC to make sure people with developmental disabilities stay supported and safe during the pandemic. Now, this includes the Chilliwack Society for Community Living. As part of the BC government's $5 billion COVID action plan, up to $36.5 million will be available over 3 months from CLBC to support service providers to continue delivering residential services. That includes group homes, home sharing, and supported independent living that about 9,500 adults with developmental disabilities count on.
Wasting away, watching clouds float by my window.
BC's top doctor, Dr. Bonnie Henry, made the call that nobody wanted to hear when it comes to summer fun. Don't expect major summer events to happen. That includes the PNE, the Vancouver Pride Parade, and the Celebration of Lights. Locally, no decision yet on the Chilliwack Fair, the Abbotsford Agri Fair, the Abbotsford Air Show, Chilliwack Flight Fest, and the Merritt Rock and River Festival. BC Cancer Foundation announcing the postponement of the 12th annual Ride to Conquer Cancer until August of 2021 due to the impacts of COVID-19. It is the largest charitable event in BC. The Ride to Conquer Cancer is a critical source of funds for the BC Cancer Foundation, anticipated to raise between $8 to $10 million for the BC Cancer Foundation. The Ride to Conquer Cancer typically hosts 2,500 cyclists who ride 200 kilometers over 2 days throughout the Fraser Valley, ending up in Hope. Last week, the Chilliwack BIA shut down Party in the Park and the Fortin's Vintage Classic Car Show. Now, the Downtown Proud Awards and their AGM scheduled for October 2020. And they will have a backup plan if conducting the AGM virtually is necessary at that time. We'll have more in our interview with Executive Director Kyle Williams later in the broadcast. Things are going from bad to worse at Mission's Federal Institution. Well over 70 inmates, as well as staff and corrections officers, have tested positive for COVID-19. One inmate has already died. There are concerns from advocates like the John Howard Society that panic among inmates is ramping up in an already serious situation. With the COVID concerns in prisons, especially Mission, this comes as actually good news for prisons' rights activists. The BC Civil Liberties Association and the John Howard Society very happy with the federal government decision to abandon its fight against a BC Court of Appeal ruling that found that Canada's laws governing solitary confinement actually violate the Charter of Rights because they permit prolonged, indefinite isolation. The federal government, in a notice given to the Supreme Court of Canada, said it was discontinuing the attempt to appeal the ruling. The group describes spending up to 22 hours a day locked in a cell about the size of a parking lot as their only human contact, and also through the meal slot, which is in their door. Add to that the stress and the paranoia about the COVID outbreak. ICBC making changes to help ease the financial hardship that customers are experiencing because of COVID-19. For customers needing more relief than the 90-day payment deferral, ICBC is waiving the $30 cancellation fee and the $18 replating fee for those people who choose to cancel their insurance during this time. The cancellation fee change is subject to approval from the BC Utilities Commission. Customers will be required to remove the plate from the vehicle while it's not insured, and that vehicle has to be kept off the road. Customers who reinsure as of May 30th or thereafter will be able to reuse their plate. Customers reinsuring prior to that date will be issued a new plate at no charge, and at that time they're expected to surrender the old plate. After the break, a taped interview with Kyle Williams of the Downtown Business Association of Chilliwack. Don Lehn, chillTV News of the Week, and a special interview with Kyle Williams of the Downtown Chilliwack Business Association. Kyle, thanks for taking some time out with us. Right off the bat, this past week, there was with the Chamber of Commerce as well, a live virtual town hall meeting.
Right.
What was the feel amongst the business owners and the community? Because I don't know how much you could actually plan ahead, because we're still waiting on Bonnie Henry, Adrian Dix, etc. What was said in a nutshell?
Well, there were, kind of, I'd say, more general questions asked. We had Mayor Ken Popov there, and then we had our provincial and federal representatives, John Martin and Laurie Thronis were there, and then Mark Strahl. So they each kind of took turns responding to to questions that may have been relevant to them. They admitted that there's a lot of uncertainty, so firm plans are difficult, but they were also pretty open about discussions that they've had about maybe stuff that hasn't hit the news yet or been formally planned yet, but they've had discussions about just about everything. So if a business or one of the questions brought up a topic that maybe there's no funding or support for yet, they could tell us that there have been discussions and there's more stuff coming. So it was positive, a little uncertain, but it was positive. And when it came back around for businesses to ask more specific questions after the kind of general question period, there wasn't a lot left to answer. They were pretty good.
The elephant in the room, Party in the Park, as well as the car show. The thing with Party in the Park is that over the past 10 years, there were a lot of challenges. It used to be every Friday in the summer. It was pared back. So it has gone through a lot of difficulties.
Right.
It does not sound like there will be a problem resurrecting Party in the Park 2021.
No, we don't anticipate a problem. This was more about our ability to deal with it strictly in 2020 and whether we should be trying to get it going. And obviously, since we've made the decision to cancel it for this year, there's been other stuff come out later in the summer that's canceled, and I think you're still going to hear more and more stuff. So we feel it was the right decision. It was not an easy one, and we needed to make sure we had some of the everybody at the table and the right decision being made. And at the end of the day, we feel that was done.
With Party in the Park, we're everybody seems to be on the same page that it will survive. The other one, because I'm close to it, into the community as well, and that is the car show. Because it was canceled last year, it was a rainout, and then this year,
right.
Will there be difficulty in rebooting for 2021 for the car show?
I don't think so. We've got a lot of sponsors and partners that are very invested in it, want to be a part of it. That event itself is, easier actually to put on than Party in the Park is. There's a few less moving pieces other than the 300 plus cars that come from all over the place. But it's a good show. It's a popular show. There's support from community members as well, not just business partners and sponsors, but there are car groups that want to be involved in it, and they help us with parking and that kind of stuff. So I think there's a good team there that want to keep it going. And even if we have to look at a model change or whatever from our perspective, I don't think it'll make a big difference to the end product. I think it's something that should be able to go. It's more weather dependent than Party in the Park is, for sure. Because if it's raining, the cars just don't want to be there. So you're always going to have that. And last year was, unfortunate, but not at all related to our decision for this year. So
yeah, a couple of final quick questions. Canada Day in Abbotsford, I know, will be virtual. BIA involved in anything virtual for Chilliwack's Canada Day?
No, the BIA hasn't really been involved in the Canada Day stuff. And I know they've got the city and who they're working with for Canada Day have to make some decisions for that and what they're going to do moving forward. What we told the city when we canceled Party in the Park and the car show was that we'd like to be involved in whatever comes up down the road. If and when there's an opportunity to run an event, we'd like to be in that conversation and see what we can do to help people kind of celebrate and get back to things. But we're not sure that's going to be anytime soon in terms of a large gathering, large event. So,
and ending on a positive note, at least ironically, you've got some time to upgrade the website. When does the new website go online?
Well, we were hoping to have it online already, but it's not quite ready. We've had some obvious other things that have taken some of our focus, but we're hoping within the next couple of weeks we'll be able to go live. We've got some tweaking and stuff to do, possibly a couple new pages to add on there, given some of the new stuff we're dealing with. So middle of May, I think we'll probably be live with it, and that's downtownchilliwack.com.
Which brings me to the final point where we'll definitely touch base with you in the middle of May, see where we are business-wise.
Yeah.
Kyle Williams, Executive Director, Downtown Chilliwack Business Association, big thanks for being with us and taking the time out.
Thank you. Thanks to everybody there, and I hope everybody stays safe.
Thanks, Kyle. And you're watching Chill TV's News of the Week.
Wasting away, watching clouds float by my window.
TV Sports, Taylor Claggett and Daniel Campbell took the top prizes at the University of Fraser Valley Athletic Department, handing out their awards for the 2019-20 season. With the Cascades Annual Awards Gala canceled due to COVID-19, the award winners were announced across the Cascades social media channels. Basketball standout Claggett and the golf star Campbell, both fifth-year seniors, won the Female and Male Athletes of the Year, respectively. Fraser Valley Bandits remain hopeful they have a second season in 2020. And so far, they and the Canadian Elite Basketball League have pushed back their summer season twice. In a statement, they are still planning for a June start, and they continue to sign players. Back in mid-March, Clayton Robinson, one of the owners of the Nanaimo Buccaneers of the Vancouver Island Junior Hockey League, was looking for investors to launch a Chilliwack team in the Pacific Junior Hockey League. It would be a natural rival to the Abbotsford Pilots. And Robinson was adamant that the team would coexist with the BC Hockey League Chilliwack Chiefs. Since then, all sides have been rather quiet about the idea, although the COVID pandemic has pretty much stalled all those plans. And when it comes to the BC Hockey League, the director of the league, Chris Hebb, has told chillTV that they are seriously looking at asking the province of British Columbia for financial help so that they can actually have a 2020-2021 hockey season. And that would include the Chilliwack Chiefs. chillTV weather, it's a mix of spring sun and showers, and the gardens continue to grow, and highs near 17. Thanks for staying with chillTV's News of the Week. We appreciate you watching. And a big thanks to Kyle Williams, the Executive Director of the Chilliwack Downtown Business Improvement Association, for joining us on the show this week via a remote feed. If you would like to participate in reporting news in Chilliwack, you have a story you think we should know about, send us a note to news@chilltv.ca. We'd love to hear from you. That's the news this week. I'm Don Lehn.